Hi everyone, this is Spring, the fiber enthusiast. Today is Tatting Topics. Today we're going to discuss direction. When do I change directions? And when do I not? Does it really matter? Let's see. If I reverse my work wrongly, will it cause an issue with the pattern? Let's see. Let's find out. So, I've already started the process of one that has some reversing of the work, but mostly not. In the beginning of this, we start with a ring. And we start with this top left ring. And this top left ring is 3 double stitches, picot, 3 double stitches, picot, all the way around. At the end, you have 9 picots with 3 double stitches all the way around. So we are going this direction, all the way down here and connecting. Okay? So that's where we close to form a ring, right here. Next, we need to stay the same direction. We are not going to turn our work. Why is that, you ask? Because we want to connect on this very first picot. This one right here. We want to connect our next ring with our first picot on it to the first picot from the previous ring. So we're not going to reverse our work here. We're going to automatically start into the next ring. So this ring is going to go all the way around to here. And that's where that ring closes. Now we are going to start the chain. This chain, you do reverse your work. So this is where we're at right now. We would be right here. Hang on. Let me get on the right side of the wrong one. Okay. Had to not look through the camera for that. So we would have gone around here, and we've ended here. But do you see how this arch is going this direction? Well, to get that, we have to reverse our work. And the reason we've reversed the work is because now you can see that that arch is curved this direction. If we didn't reverse the work, it would actually, flip it back over. If we did this section right here without reversing the work, it would curve the other way. Because the top of our double stitches, let me zoom in a little bit. The top of our double stitches here, where this picot is across this side, would actually be on this side. So it would naturally curve the other direction. So that's why we have to flip our work in order to achieve the proper direction. So in order to get this arch to go towards the right, we need to come up out of these 2 rings and have our double stitches on the left. Now when we get to the top of that arch and we need to start our next set of rings, once again, we will reverse our work. And the reason we'll reverse our work from this arch is so that way our double stitches are on the outside, making our way around on the left side of this arch, making our way around. Then when we get down to this point, we would not reverse our work because we want to connect to that very first picot and then continue around. Then once again, we have to reverse our work so that way our arches are actually going towards each other. See, like that? Okay, let's go back to the paper. Now what I just described is where we have finished our circle, our ring here. We reversed our work, and now we create an arch down to here. Then we have to reverse our work again so that way we can pick up and start our next ring. Our ring will go all the way around and connect. And then our next ring will connect right here and go all the way around. And then once again, we'll reverse our work and create a chain. There we go, like that. And this is where we're at now. I want to go ahead and run through a couple of these rings with you and another chain with you so you can see it in action. So I'm going to zoom back out, get all of my thread situated from all of my turning back and forth. Okay, so we're going to start this ring right here. Now we're going to go around this way and close the ring. That's our first step. And our first part of this pattern is 3 stitches, picot, 3 stitches, picot, 3 stitches, and so on, following that same thing all the way around, and I will have 9 picots with 3 double stitches in between each one. So I'm gonna zip through that part really quick because the main topic is when to reverse the work and when not to reverse the work. We're at 4. 5. 1 too many. I'll pop that last one off. There we go. Two, three, four, five, six, 7. Eight, and the last one with 3 double stitches. All right, now I'm going to close to form the ring. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little knot in here just so that way I can step back and show you where we're at and I don't worry about it closing up on me. Okay, so we have just now completed our first ring, and we will not be reversing our work, remember? Okay, so now we just completed this ring. We have made it all the way around, and we're not going to turn our work because we want to connect to this very first picot here. So without turning your work, you start back onto the pattern. Okay. I'm going to do the remainder of this ring off camera. When I come to the end to close it, I will start back up. Okay, I'm back. I have finished that ring. I'm just now closing it up. Gonna make sure everything is neatly spaced. Then I'm gonna turn my work over and place a knot. Get set up for my next arch. When these are loose like this and you're working on it, sometimes it's hard to keep everything straight and keep working forward. And every so often you have to set it down and step back from it and look and say, okay, what do I have to do next? Because it's easier to say, okay, so if this is in my hand, like this, and I'm working off this last circle, okay, and I want my arch to meet these guys, and I just ended here, and I start putting double stitches onto my needle, it's going to be going on the same direction as this. So what will happen is I'll end up with 2 arches going the same direction, going over the top of each other. This one would go right over the top of it if I didn't change directions, because the bumps from my double stitches would be on this side of my needle if I didn't turn it over. But by turning the page, turn it over, now you can see the difference. Now, if I laid my needle down across where my arch is going to be, and I look to see where my double stitches were on the left-hand side of the needle, I know that that arch is going to go the right direction. So I know by reversing my work at that point, I know that the arch will be going the right direction when I start. So we just finished this ring here. Okay? So the next step is the last arch here. That's the last section that we need to do here. And now we know that we had to reverse the work in order to make it happen. And I'll set these right here. Now my drawing's a little bit bigger and off from what my work is right here. But you can see that that arch will go like this. So let's connect the dots. Again, you just do the same as you always would do. You place your needle on top of the last stitch or on top of the knot that you just created. And these arches are really simple. It's 6 double stitches with 1 picot and 6 double stitches for this. If you find that your thread is jumping off the end of your needle when you're trying to make a double stitch, just slide your work down onto your needle. It's not a big deal. It's just there's not enough room for that loop to stay put until you cinch it down into the actual stitch. Had one too many. Pop that off the end there. Okay. So the next task is just to connect, and that's not a big deal either. I'm going to go ahead and pull this through so that way you can see the arch before I attach it. Did you see how that ring just jumped right up there when I pulled on it? Here, I'll loosen it up and do it again. It just automatically comes up into place. So now I'll set that down. See how it curving around the ring like that? So now it's going the right direction, and we can bring it over if it would be nice. And attach it where it's supposed to be attached. And now all the arches are arched towards each other. Those picots are facing each other. And that is how you determine whether you need to turn your work or not. Depending on the pattern, and depending on what it's asking of you or what you're looking to make. Like this here, going around the circle and then staying the same way and connecting right away, going around, and then reverse your work so you can get that arch to go out here. I hope that this all makes some kind of sense. I'm going to go ahead and attach this before I leave you to it. And in the meantime, while I'm attaching, if you found this tutorial helpful, please give me a thumbs up and let me know down in the description box. If you're coming to my tatting videos for the first time and you've never tatted anything in your life and would like to learn, or maybe you have tatted and you want to learn a little bit more, I have some earring tatting tutorials, and I also have basic tatting skills tutorials. I think there's 5 of those. And at the end, you will have a project. So that's pretty cool. And right now, I'm arguing with getting my thread through the eye. There we go. All right. Now let's try this again. Going from the right direction is very important, and that's why I had to take that apart, because I had come in through the wrong side of this knot to connect the two, and it was causing my arch to turn. Now, okay, so now I'm going to sew in the ends and finish working on this pattern, but I thought this was a good little, this is why you turn and reverse your work when you reverse your work section. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Be blessed and be a blessing. Bye, guys.